Welcome back to 23-Minute Reads with me, Maya D. This is kind of like my virtual book club because in these 5 minute or so videos, I share with you my takeaways from my current reading. Right now, that is Black Performance Theory. As a part of my 23 to 23 challenge, I'm reading 23 minutes per day, every day as an action of self love, as an investment into myself, and as a way of providing myself with some consistency in an ever changing world. Hoping that you will join me along in this journey by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and dropping some comments down there in that comment section so that there's an actual dialogue going on. Having in mind that while I have several decades of experience as an educator, as a dancer, and as a curriculum writer, I'm not the know all be all for this book. I'm simply providing a space for dialogue. Well, this week I read pages 87 through 140, and let me get my notes so I can share my 3 takeaways. Takeaway number 1 is folk pornography, and this term is offered to us by scholar Jacqueline Dowd Hall. Here's a quote from the book. Therefore, Hall dubs the discourse surrounding the lynching folk pornography, thereby indicating that it was a shared voyeuristic, discourse that expanded the number of audience members. Even those who did not attend it viewed it by consuming the story and taking pleasure in the details. End quote. This quote comes from the Black authored Lynch drama section of the book and speaks to the ritualized order slash script surrounding the lynching and how it was theatrical, from the advertisements to the postcards to the fact that you could purchase a ticket to a murder, and that the gory details were then written and disseminated via newspapers. I find myself questioning if this type of pornography is what laid the groundwork for the proliferation of gangster rap, a lust for hearing about murder. The Black authored Lynch dramas offer a shift in focus from the body of the lynching to that person, that lifestyle, their character, their family, the impact of that living person, and a reminder that mourning is the only appropriate course to healing and moving forward, because long after the body has deteriorated, their spirit and their memories still exist. Takeaway number 2 is consumption. In the essay Reading Spirit and the Dancing Body, in the choreography of Ronald K. Brown and Reggie Lewis, ideas of secular and sacred dance are discussed by Carl Paris, who elucidates linkage between spirit, concert dance, and cultural representation, end quote. It is a well-accepted theory that dance as we know it right now is originated from an extension of religious and spiritual practice, and that in some African and African diasporic communities, there's no clear line between secular and sacred dance, because there's no clear line between the spiritual world and that of the tangible world. In these spaces, dance are a part of communion. Here's a quote from the book. Tommy DeFrance cautions concert dance is a public space, a white modernist, European space of production and consumption, end quote. Here's another quote. Concert dance is never vernacular, also from Tommy DeFrance. Concert dance as consumption makes it more of a one-way experience than that of the communal experience that you have when you are a part of spiritual dance, religious dance, vernacular dance forms. I am left to question, how does the Black body navigate this consumption versus communion? And if this consumption versus communion function negatively impacts the value of dance. Takeaway number 3 is Flying Africans. Here's a quote from the book. Flying Africans and their reincarnation in rap music depicts difficult choices made under physically and psychologically trying circumstances, end quote. This reminds me of how societal and political events inspire changes in art and the way that art is performed. In the world of ballet, we know that the Romantic era is the direct result of devastation and a shifting of politics, the political landscape in France, and how it changed what happened on stage, how performances were happening, they became a space of escapism. We also see that the sacred circle of the breakdance cipher in hip hop culture is providing that same type of escapism. Now, I'm just beginning this section, so I would love to hear your comments, your ideas, and your thoughts about that section, about this book, and just wanting to create that dialogue. Thank you for staying to the end. Remember to share, subscribe, and to comment. Stay blessed, spread a good word, and I'll see you next week.